Hi creative friends, this is Freya and thank you so much for being here. So today I'm going to work in Painting the Feminine Art Journal by Connie Solera. But first I briefly wanted to talk about the video I posted yesterday. So YouTube put it under review and I have to say that I honestly was surprised. Call me naive, but I firmly believe that all art is sacred and nothing should be censored. Now the only exception I make to that is if it's harmful in content, meaning it's hateful or it's targeting a specific group of people. So YouTube decided not to monetize that video of mine, which I'm 100% okay with. I will choose artistic freedom any day of the week. It's actually kind of funny, really, because 120 years after Chile created his art, there are still restrictions on it. It made me appreciate his courage and authenticity even more. Okay, so let's just jump into this spread. Now, I'm going to approach this a little bit differently than I usually do. I am going to use Connie's composition, but I am going to cover up most everything. But I am going to use the underpinnings of her composition because I really love it. I was looking at it through my viewfinder and just kind of meditating on the entire spread. And I thought, I am seeing something different than what she portrayed. Like she has the face over here and the body is like like maybe this lady is wearing a robe. Now this reads as a sun to me, but I am going to inject most of my own visual language into this spread, but I am going to very heavily rely on her composition because I'm just totally just loving it. So what I'm going to do is, well, first of all, I laid out some paints here and I may deviate from this a little bit, but this is my favorite orange and blue combo. I'm going to use a little bit of pink and I might offset it with another color, which I don't know what that other color might be. But what I am seeing here is this whole area over here being a face, but a tilted face, and then this being the body. So I'm just really drawn to it and I'm gonna follow her composition like so. And it just really excites me. Like it's a very dynamic composition. I love the fact that it's overlapping into the two pages. I love the fact that it's taking up so much space. Like this lady is just, she's like, hey, here I am. I'm bold. I'm just gonna be full of myself and I'm gonna take up all the space I need. I'm just feeling that vibe. So what I'm going to do is I am going to keep this sun, but I'm going to make it smaller, but I am still going to use Connie's, I'm going to use her colors, and I don't know if the camera can pick up on it, but I think she used some collage over there. And so I'll bring it up closer. So it's orange, but you can see a little bit of a pattern in the background. And I think what I'm going to do is just dive right into this situation. So the first thing is, like I said, I'm going to cover up most of Connie's colors and her lines, and I'm going to inject my own visual language. And normally what I try to do when I'm working in a book like this is I try to keep about 40 to 60% of the stuff that's already on the page, and then I will inject my own visual language, but I work with the page. But I just wanted to try something a little bit different. So now I have a face and I'm really feeling it. And now I'm gonna have to see, am I going to keep anything of her her patterns or her lines? I'm just gonna look and see here. And I know I said I wasn't going to, and I think I'm gonna stick with that decision. So what I want to do is I want to make the whole background blue. I'm just kind of feeling it. So I'm just going to go in heavy here. But I think I might keep some of her black lines there. I'm really loving that. So I think I'm going to kind of keep that outline of hers. I love those bold, rich marks of hers. And of course, normally when I'm, painting and I'm not recording, I don't, like think everything through like the way I am now. Like I don't, obviously I'm not talking out loud. So actually making these videos is helping me articulate even to myself what my thought processes are. So I hope I'm making sense, because normally when I'm painting, I'm, just doing things without maybe thinking them through. But when I have to articulate it like I am when I'm making these videos, it's actually very helpful to me as well. So I'm really, really just loving this. Now I am going to come in and put a another layer of blue once this has dried, because I want it to be solid. And I don't know, like I want to have the blue-orange combination, but I need to bring in more colors as well. And I don't know what the other colors are, but we're not going to worry about that right now. Ooh. And the thing is, like, once I cover something up, I can't get it back. And I don't know if I'm covering up too much of her work, but like I said, I was just going to go with the composition. But I hate covering up Connie's beautiful work, honestly. So I'm going to keep some of those dark lines. Okay, so I'm really, really just loving this dynamic kind of composition here. Now, I might come in and put some collage on the face just to build it up a little bit, just, for some interest. And now I'm gonna kind of see, what do I want to keep? Oops. What do I want to keep of Connie's? Now, I do love the yellow, I have to say. And this is kind of bugging me here because I think I got rid of a little bit too much of that circle. So I'm just gonna kind of give it a rounder shape there. Okay. And let me see here, what do I want to keep? I think I want to keep the yellow. I'm really feeling the yellow. And now for all of this, I think I want to inject some of the orange in here, and that's going to pick up on the orange here and move the eye across the page. So what I'm going to do is, first I'm just going to add some collage. Let me see. Ooh, I'm really loving that piece. I don't know. It doesn't fit there, but I'm just loving that piece anyways. It just popped out. That's my own art from a composition notebook, and actually, you know what? I might use some of my own art. Okay, but first I just want to build up the face here. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, I'm really loving this. So I'm just gonna kind of put this over here like so, and just give the face some interest and dimension. And let's just kind of build it up like that. Now, I'm just going to grab some of my collage. So these are pieces of my own collage over here. And ooh, I'm really loving some of these pieces. And that's the thing about, like, say a painting, or just say you're working in an art journal. So I have this art journal over here, and it's I don't know, it goes back like 8 or 9 years. And I started it actually when we were in between moves and I didn't have access to my studio. So I just, like, that was kind of my portable studio, which if you go back to my videos, you'll see that that's kind of how I started kind of art journaling without me knowing. When I was a teenager, I used to have a journal and I used to carry it around, and now in retrospect, it was my portable studio. So that's what that composition book was like for me. And you know, there are pages in there where I was just, you know, piddling around, and I was taking a class and blah, blah, blah. But the thing is that, you know, even though something may not work in that context, if you take it out of that context and put it in a completely different spread, it might just be perfect. So I hope I've explained that correctly. Okay, so I'm just building up the face with some collage here. So let me just explain something else. So when I first came in here and I drew the face, I filled it up with my Liquitex ink, and now I'm covering it all up with a collage, which might seem like, okay, why did I even do that? Why didn't I just go ahead and put the collage in? So basically, that's a good question for me to even ask myself. Well, initially, I didn't know I wanted to put the collage on the face, but me putting the ink down, it instantly gave me a visual of, oh, okay, I love this face. I love this collage. It allowed me to anchor into that, oh, I love this. I love this as a face. And then to build up the background and the sun and etc. So I hope I'm explaining myself correctly with what I'm trying to get across. Now, I love this piece. I just really love this piece. But there goes my orange, because I did want to fill this up with orange. So I'm going to just set that aside and say, hey, maybe I can use that piece over top of the orange. But for right now, I just want to get some orange down. So like I said, I might keep some of that yellow because I'm really digging it. And let's see here. And I want her to take up a lot of space, like I just do. I'm just feeling it, you know. It just appeals to me. And okay. And I think, like I said, I'm gonna keep some of that yellow. I might keep some of that pink. And I don't know about this aqua over here. Like this aqua, I don't know. I'm just gonna leave it for now. And the blue over here might be too close to this blue, so I don't know if I'm gonna keep that either. And I'm putting a transparent layer on this because I want that pattern to show through, but some of the places I'm gonna make it opaque. And I'm just loving her fullness, I guess, you know. And instantly when I saw this spread, I was like, oh my goodness, I really, really am like I could instantly see the lady. Like I could just, you know, I could just like, she was just like screaming to me like, hey, I'm here. Like I want to be brought in onto the pages. It's kind of weird, but Okay, and there we go. Yeah, I am totally digging this composition here. So I think I'm gonna like just, because like I said, I want her to be full of herself. I just want her to just be like, you know, just take up as much room as she needs. So I'm gonna I got rid of that blue there. And what I am gonna do now is drop some more ink into this and just kind of like lay it down. And then I'm gonna let it dry. I'm gonna bring maybe a little bit of the pink in there, you know, just kind of like, and okay, so I am gonna let this completely dry and then I'm gonna come back to it. But if you've watched all the way to the end, thank you so much, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.